For weeks, I've been stalked by this thing, and now it's finally came. Slenderman has found me. A shiver ran down my spine as I daringly took a quick glance into my garden from behind the curtain. The sight of this particular creature made my blood run cold. How long have he been stood there? I've lost count of the minutes, or maybe even hours. I don't know anymore. It's all become one massive blur. For days he's been stalking me, at first from a distance, but I saw him getting closer. He knew that I knew he was getting closer. Was this some kind of sick game to him? He had to be. Why else would somebody so cruelly mock another? I had tried challenging him, yelling to him that I was sick and tired of his twisted sense of humor. I threatened to call the cops in hopes that he would figure out that I was being serious and would leave me alone. My mind spoke sense, but my subconsciousness told me that it was useless. This thing wasn't human. It was impossible. The height of this thing was too large to be a normal human. Both its legs and arms were unnormally disproportionate, stretched to almost unbelievable lengths. Then there was its face. The thought of it sent horrible chills down me, even in bright daylight. There was no face. Pure white skin like something from a child's nightmare. The black suit he wore made his horribly pale skin seem to have a strange glow, but yet somehow he was still able to blend into surroundings, staying perfectly hidden. A slight twitch to his movement caused him to jump and let the curtain slip back into place. My heart beat racing and my face twisted in horror. What was I supposed to do? Maybe calling the police and reporting a Stark would be my best bet. Like I had originally planned. I mentally slapped myself at the repetitive thought cycle my mind was stuck in. No matter how often I told myself it was pointless, my brain would tell me to call the police. Taking a deep breath, I dared to take another glance at the window. Peeling the fabric apart, I look out to see nothing but darkness. He had disappeared as if no one had been there all along. Rationally told me that it was all in my head. I was breaking down and this creature was a figment of my own twisted imagination. Perhaps stress from work was getting on top of me, slowly pushing me into paranormal. Yeah, that must be it. I was slowly losing my mind. I stepped away from the window and clasped my shaking hands as if trying to steady them. My hand wanted me to walk to the couch and sit down, try to relax a little, but my body refused to move. I had a strange feeling that the slightest movement would cause this thing to reappear, as if it only detected me by motion. Without the lights on, my senses seemed to have heightened. The house seemed to grow eerily quiet, almost to the point where I could hear my own breathing. Every shadow in the room became horrifying figures, and the slightest creak became a monster, sneaking through the house, coming to get me. My imagination was running wild and scaring me farther. I constantly tried to calm myself down, but nothing worked. I hadn't noticed that I had begun rubbing my clappy hands together. From the hallway I heard a sound that was undeniably footsteps. My blood ran cold. There was no one here but I, and that could mean only one thing. He had finally came to get me. I didn't think it was possible, but my heart began racing faster and my stomach leapt to my throat. It was gradually getting closer, and all I could do was stand here and accept my fate. My body still refused to move despite my depression to leave. Perhaps I had subconsciously given up. Tired from all the running, my body decided to show me how it felt. Tears pecked my eyes as I stared at the curtains. I had gotten numb. I had been taking over with fear. As I heard the door behind me slowly creak open, I could do nothing but stand there as a lonely tear run down my cheek, and his soft yet loud footsteps slowly got closer.